We had no issues coming down here at all.
She walked us through immigration, and it's something we could have done by ourselves for sure, but for us it gave us some extra peace of mind that we had somebody who's done this a lot, knew the system, certainly knew the language. We are beginners in Spanish, so having somebody there to kind of help us walk us through was a big help.
Yeah, so we chose Mexico for several reasons. Actually there's several reasons, but it's we needed some place that was close to the States. So Guadalajara was close to Dallas. We still have a daughter in the States in college, so we needed something close. But we've been coming to Mexico for a long time, different cities, and we love Mexico. We love the people, the culture, pretty much everything about it. So, but we did look at moving to Panama. So we almost moved to Panama. We got our residency down there through that relocation guide, and it was just too far. After flying down there several times, it was just a long way. And so we heard about Ajijic through some, Facebook pages and things like that, word of mouth, and came down here in September. And before that, we had never even heard of Ajijic or Chapala or anything. So we came down in September, looked around the town, loved it, came back again in October, started looking at real estate, which we also found our realtor through the Mexico Relocation Guide. She's amazing. And then on the third visit in November, we looked at a few more properties and we decided to buy this house. We had looked at it on the second visit and we purchased this house early December.
And I think, one more thing is that we've been to Mexico many times. We love the culture. But for me, especially growing up in Texas, I was just so tired of the heat. And, most of the places we've been to in Mexico were the coastal towns and such. And of course, it's hot in the summer. I really didn't even know that a place like this existed with the, we're in the higher altitude and such. And so it's so nice here in terms of the weather. And so as soon as we got here, that was the most striking thing to us, was just how nice it is here. Very, very pleasant in the daytime and even cool in the evening. So that was a big plus for me especially.
Yeah, the weather's amazing here. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable.
I think the thing that stands out to me the most is just the friendliness of the people here. Just the overall sense of community, and it's not just with us and fellow gringos. It's the local Mexican people have just been so friendly and welcoming, and in such a way that we've never experienced back home. We had lived in a neighborhood where we got to know one or two of our neighbors, maybe casually at best. And here, we were here just a few days and had met everybody, and we had I think gone to a Super Bowl watching party, and met all these wonderful people. And then 2 days later, they were all over here at our house, and we had probably 30 people here, having just a little get together, and it was so great and so much fun. So I think that's the thing that stands out to me the most.
Yeah, we had 15 people over here that we had only known like one day.
Yeah.
And it was great. I mean, it was just, it's the coolest thing. One of the coolest things about living here is everybody's here to enjoy life, enjoy people, and live their passion. And there's like everything you could possibly want here, whether it's animals, art, hiking, everything is here. So, that's one of the more reasons that we moved here.
Sure. And I think, being in a wonderful place, I think it tends to bring out the best in people, versus being in a big city, where we were working all the time, and everybody else was in that same situation. And here it just seems like everybody's at their best, and people are naturally just relaxed and friendly and wanting to get to know each other. And it's frankly just been just shocking to me. It's in a totally wonderful way, but I would have never expected this welcoming feeling to such an extent.
We live in the gated community in San Juan Cosala, which is west of Ajijic. So we live a little bit outside of the main hustle and bustle. But
hustle and bustle.
Hustle and bustle, yeah.
The big city.
Hustle and bustle, right. They're, big city, right, no. But we chose Racket Club because we wanted the gated community. And of course, the views and everything, that was what sold us on this house. And of course the layout, but although it is a bit of an older community here, the people here are lovely, and everything about this area is really nice. It's quiet, except maybe a few roosters, but that's part of the charm.
That's Mexico.
Yeah, right. But I think the views and the quietness of it here really sold us on this area. So we had originally wanted to move, like I mentioned, to Panama and got our residency down there. And then we decided it was too far, so we found the Mexican Relocation Guide through some people that we knew in Panama, and we knew that the guide worked because it worked for us there. Lawyers, guides, everything. Towns, the best places to go, immigration assistance, and so that the Mexican Relocation Guide, we knew that they worked, and that Mariana had an amazing product that we had to have. So we purchased it right away. there was no question about it. That's how we found our guide, our immigration facilitator, our real estate agent that sold us this house, who's now one of our very best friends. So I would never have moved down here without that.
Yeah, and I think it's been fantastic. It's just like every single resource that we could think of, where you don't know where to turn to get help with, a myriad of things. It's there in the guide, and we haven't had one single bad experience with any resource we found through it. So yeah, it's been fantastic.
They're fabulous. Yeah. A typical day for us, well, I'll just say that it's very different than what it was in the States. You know, we worked a lot in the States, being a teacher. You know, he was in the corporate world. Get up at 5, come home at 5. Me personally, that was a typical day for me. And getting up the next day and doing it. But it's very different here. So he has an online business and he can explain that. But, you know, we do a lot of socializing. But, you know, we like to watch movies and hang out at home too. It's nice. We have all the doors open all the time. And, you know, wake up in the morning, have my coffee with the roosters and... and I will run errands. Everything you want is here. Every single thing possible is here. Maybe meet friends for lunch in the evenings. Maybe go to dinner. The restaurants here are amazing. In fact, tonight we're meeting people for some live music at an amazing pasta restaurant here. Last night we went to a Valentine's Day party just here in our neighborhood, and then we went to some friend's house. So that's a typical day. Very typical day. You know, I like to read. I will start animal volunteering here probably in the next 2 weeks. I'll become very involved with that. There's several animal charities here, so that's a typical day for me. Just kind of, I'm my own boss now.
Yeah, and you know, like she said, you know, I have my business. It's, but it doesn't take a lot of my time. I don't want. You know, I didn't come down here to, you know, continue working a job. So there's some times that, you know, I have online meetings and such. I have a nice office that's very comfortable. Sometimes I do them out here on the terrace. And like she said, you know, sitting out here on the terrace, listening to music, meeting friends, meeting new friends. You know, it's just, there's as much to do here as you want to do. I'm about to start with a local hiking group. We have this beautiful mountain up there that I can't wait to go explore, and horseback riding and things like that. Those are things that I'm into. So I'm about to start that. So that'll be a part of my daily routine as well. You can certainly get by on English here, and people are very accommodating. But for us, we really want to be immersed in the culture. And until we are comfortable with Spanish, it's hard to really connect with, especially the local people. But we are both in classes, as well as our son. I found a great resource through learning online. So I have a private tutor actually from Venezuela who's just been amazing. So I really look forward to meeting with him every day, and you know, it's just a matter of time. And the people around us, you know, some of our friends that we've made, some of our local friends we've made here, you know, we almost kind of chide them that they help us too much. You know, that they speak more English to us to be accommodating to us, but we're like, no, we want to, you know, we want to adapt to your culture.
I actually studied Spanish in college, so I had a good base of the language, but you know, living in the States, you don't hear it enough, you don't speak it. So here, we are really trying to connect with Mexicans because we need to hear them speak, and that's very, very helpful. So just every day listening, speaking, taking lessons online, in person. There's plenty of that available here. There's groups that meet up twice a week in different restaurants and have conversations. There's different levels you can attend. So if you want to learn the language, I mean, you can absolutely do it, but I would say that that's probably the main thing for Americans, is just knowing the language. But I always tell people that if you come down here expecting things to be like they are in the States or in Canada, it's just not the way it is. So yes, it's less expensive to live here, but there are things that are different from the United States and Canada. So you have to have that open mind, and I recommend, you know, visiting many times, visiting different parts of Mexico. and getting a really good feel for the culture and what you're willing to sacrifice, what you're going to gain, but what you're willing to sacrifice because it's not the same. No place is perfect, but we always say that we bring our perfect. We bring the perfect, we make it what we want it to be.
That's right.
But nowhere is perfect. People are happy here. They're always active. There's just activity. It's not a sleepy town. It's not sleepy at all, but I would encourage expats to not just mingle with expats, mingle with local people and learn the language and the customs and take some language lessons. But like he said, you can get by without Spanish, but we chose to not do it like that. So we want to become fluent.
I think this may have been the first moment where I saw this as our home. It was just a random Monday or Tuesday night during one of our first visits. We were walking back from a restaurant to a small little boutique, hotel where we were staying in Ajijic, and we walked through the main plaza in town, and it's like every town has one, with the church and the plaza and the food vendors out, and everybody was there. Families, children, and I don't know, it was like 10 o'clock at night or something, and everybody was active and having a good time. Some people were playing music. You ended up playing like soccer with like a little 4 or 5 year old boy in there, and
I did play soccer in the States.
Yeah,
I did play soccer.
but his parents over there just watching, just laughing.
Yeah, so we just kicked the ball around, this little kid. It was super fun.
And at one point we just looked around, and it's like every single person had a smile on their face. They were there with their dogs and family and kids and grandparents, and so I think that's just going down to the town plaza, whatever, whether it be Chapala or Ajijic or San Juan Cosala, and just sitting there and soaking in that culture is a great way to get a sense of things.
And having street tacos.
Street tacos.
Go to local vendors and eat the street tacos.
Street tacos are a good thing. Waking up in the morning, getting some coffee, some local coffee that's really good.
Guy that sells it on the street, fresh coffee.
Yep. And everybody down here knows them. And and it's walking out here and looking at the view, and I don't think there's been a morning yet where I haven't walked out here and said, are we really here? I still have a hard time believing that everything worked out so well, and we were just in such a wonderful place. And I think I can speak for everybody in saying that this is easily the happiest we've ever been.
Yep, we definitely made the right decision.
Uh-huh.